Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me here today. My name is Diane, and today we're going to be making us a dinner for the game tonight. So the Washington Commanders are going to be playing the Detroit Lions, so we're getting ready for that. I thought I'd go ahead and start cooking early. And so right now I'm just prepping my steak. We're having steak and broccoli and potatoes and some carrots and probably a salad. And I'm tenderizing my steak because, I had a automatic, manual steak tenderizer, and I broke it. Oh my goodness, I broke it. So I forgot to order another one, bought steak, and then I thought, oh well, we'll just go back to the old way of doing it. So this is how people used to do it back in the olden days, which is effective. It just takes a little bit longer. So I'm going to show you all the ingredients up close, and while I'm finishing this up and getting my pan hot, we'll be right back. Here's our lovely steak. Yum yum, that's looking good. And we got some beautiful broccoli that I've rinsed several times, and I'm letting it soak. Gonna pat that dry and put some lovely seasonings on there. I got some potatoes. And we got some carrots that I really need to use up. So we're going to be using those as well. All right, I got my broccoli all patted dry just a little bit because I kind of wanted to steam a little bit. This is a sheet pan meal. So what I'm doing now is there's some leaves on this. I got the long broccoli, nice thin, already cut like this. And what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of pulling the leaves off, and then I'm going to stack it up and cut off that stem, maybe just about a half of an inch, just so we don't get, this part has already been cut. I don't want that to eat that. I want mine to be fresh. So we're going to get rid of that. All right. Okay, so I've got all my broccoli nice and trimmed and cut the way I want it to be. Next, we're going to make like a nice kind of garlicky sauce. It's just garlic powder and a little bit of water. And we're going to spread this out because we're making this nice garlicky seasoning to go on our broccoli. Okay, so it's all it is going to be garlic, salt, and pepper. So I got a generous amount of pepper, and I got some salt that we're going to put in this, and then we're just going to add a little bit of water. Okay, and of course butter. And so here's my water, and I just added just a little bit of water, and you can just do all butter, but I like to put just a little bit of water to make it look like that, make it a little pasty. Okay, and then the butter is going to really do the big thing. So I've got some butter that's been sitting out, and I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of butter to that, and we're just going to get that all incorporated into our seasonings. Okay, and I'll probably put maybe 2 tablespoons of garlic in it. You can put as much or as less as you want, or you can use fresh garlic if you choose. I find that when I'm doing my sheet pan meals, if I use fresh garlic, sometimes it tends to burn. So I just go with the garlic powder. All right, this is how our garlic, salt, and pepper butter is looking. And that's just going to go right on to our broccoli. So we're going to set this aside because we don't need this right now. We're going to assemble all of this on our sheet pan, but we got to prep our vegetables first. Next, I've got some carrots that I need to use up. They're still quite crispy and crunchy, but I need to go and use them up. So why not just put them in our dish for our dinner for tonight? Okay. Going to cut the ends off. I'm going to peel them and then just give them a nice little slice. All right, since we've got our carrots nice and peeled, I want them to be about the same length. So I'm just going to line them up and cut them in half so they're the same length. And then I'm going to cut them in half. I won't use this one. It's not looking the best. So then I'm just going to go in and cut them in half. And then we're going to take some brown sugar. I got maybe a tablespoon and a half of brown sugar and avocado oil. And we're just going to put in maybe a teaspoon of avocado oil. Okay. Let's give that a nice, good little stir. I'm going to put a little bit more in. Okay. Maybe 2 teaspoons of avocado oil. Perfect. That's looking so much better. That's the way I want it to look. I want it to get nice and soaked in there. Get all of that out of there. And we're going to get that onto our carrots and get that all worked in there real nice and good. And we're going to put a little pepper on it and just a hint of salt. Okay? So let's do that next. We got a little bit of pepper and just a hint of salt, not much, just a teeny tiny pinch, and get that all worked in there. And then we're going to set this to the side, and we're going to work on our potatoes next. That's the next thing we're going to work on is our potatoes. Okay, next, so we've got our potatoes, and I got 3 potatoes, which is probably a little bit more for what we need, but I'll see as I start to cut them. And these are those beautiful yellow potatoes. I love them. Oh my goodness. And we're just going to cut these in half, and then we're going to cut them again, and then we're going to chunk them so they're about this size. Okay, that's going to be the perfect size that we're going to need to roast so that everything will come and be done at the same time. Okay, so your goal is to make sure that everything is done at pretty much the same time, and that's enough potato for one person. So we're going to just need the 2 potatoes. All right, that's looking good. All right, perfect. We'll save this potato for another day, y'all. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to season our potatoes with salt and with pepper. So we want to put that on and get that all incorporated in there so it'll be next to the skin, next to the potato. And then we're going to put dill, okay, because I love me some dill. Okay, and this is dill. You can use the fresh dill. I do sometimes, not all the time, because you get quite a lot. I can freeze it, but this just works out a little bit better for me. All right, so we're going to get that all in there, get it next to the skin, get it incorporated, and then we're going to go in with a little bit of avocado oil, just a little bit. We don't need much. All right, just a drizzle or 2, that's fine. But we want to make sure it's coated because we don't want the potatoes to kind of scorch or look like it's burnt. But we want to coat it really well. Make sure all our potatoes are coated in the oil. All right, that's how they look, y'all. Yum, yum. Okay. Now that we've gotten all of our ingredients prepped and ready, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sear our steak. Okay, I got my pan heating. Smoking, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to get ready to season my steak, and I've got pepper, quite a bit of pepper. This is the large green pepper that I use, like the butcher block pepper. And we're going to put in some salt. And you know, I don't particularly like to use any kind of like steak seasoning and stuff, I just go with something cook or I know will cook pretty good. All right, then we're gonna pack that in now. Flip it over. I'm gonna wash my hand. I'll be back. Okay, I had to wash my hand. Next, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Good deal of pepper. Okay, and salt. And then we're gonna go in here with a little bit of, just a little bit, mustache. But you can use whatever you like, you know, the steak seasoning or whatever. But we want this to be fairly dry. Okay, and that's looking good. I'll put my pan back on, wash my hands, and I'll be back. Next, we're gonna put our avocado oil in because it has such a high smoke point. We got our oven preheated to 475. Now remember, like I always tell you when I do a sheet pan meal, remember I always tell you to preheat that oven and put it up on 475 because we're going to cook it for about 8 minutes on 475. And then we're going to turn it down to 425 and cook it for the remainder of the minutes. So anywhere between 20 to 25 minutes in my oven is what it does. Your oven may take a little bit longer. So whatever your oven takes, that's what you cook it at, okay? So we're just looking to get a nice sear on this. And then we're going to put it on our sheet pan and we're going to let it cook the rest of the way. That's looking good already. I want to sear the fat. Get that nice and crispy. My husband likes it nice and crispy. We're going to get some of that cooked up. Be careful because it's hot. That's all you want, okay? That's good. So the first thing I'm going to do is my steak. And as always make a nice little place for my steak to go, for my meat to be separated, that is. All right. And I'm just going to fold this down to kind of separate my meat from, I'm going to get it so you can see it. So I can get my meat to be separated from the vegetables so that the meat juice don't go over into my vegetables. Okay? I mean, it's okay if you want to. I just prefer it not to. Touch and get into it. All right. And so next we're going to put in our carrots. Our potatoes. So we have our potatoes. We're just going to put them in there. And the idea with a sheet pan is you want to spread it out as much as possible. Remember, you can always tighten it up, but you want to have one layer if at all possible. Now, sometimes you're not always going to get one layer. You may have 2 layers, but you want to kind of tighten it up. All right, and then we're going to do our carrots. Give them a nice little tossing. We're going to put our carrots on here. These are our brown sugar carrots. All right, next is our broccoli. And we're just going to lay this in here. See that? Lay it in both directions. Okay. I like it that my steak is trying to cook on that oven and the stove is hot. And get it so you can see it though. There we go. And then we're going to take our mixture of garlic and water and a little bit of butter. And we're just going to start smearing this onto our broccoli. Okay? Just using the back of your spoon. We're going to smear it on there. And then we're gonna really work it all in there. Okay, get it all worked all over the whole amount of broccoli that you got. Getting all the stalk and everything, because we're gonna eat every bit of this. It's gonna be great. Okay, every bit. All right, that looks good. All right, my oven is ready to go. I'm going to show you up close what this all looks like. Pop it in the oven, and I'll be back when it's all done. Okay, so here's what the whole sheet pan looks like. I put some softened butter on top of my steak, maybe a tablespoon on each one. And look at all that beautiful garlic spread that's on our broccoli. This is going to be good. All right, I'll be back. Okay, everyone, here is our dinner. It's all done. I put the thermometer in the meat. My meat is registering right at 165, which is where I want it to be at. You cook it, of course, according to the doneness that you want yours to be at. I'm going to go ahead and pull the steak off of this pan because the pan is still hot. We're going to let it sit for about a good 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're going to plate it up and get ready to eat. Alrighty, so it's been about 5 minutes. The steak has had a chance to sit a little bit, just for video purposes. I took it out of the little pocket I made and put it back on this pan. The pan is cool enough where it'll just keep it warm and not continue to cook it. But it's all done. I'm gonna plate it up, show you that picture at the end. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate you so much. You be blessed, and I'll see you real soon.